Chapter 191. 11 days later in Saffron City, one day before meeting Giovanni. Alex, who was lying in his bed, woke up when the morning rays of sun touched his face. He showed a tired expression and began to slowly get out of bed. Alex was relatively tired after these relatively difficult 11 days. Not only did he train his Pokemon, but he also went to every black market in Kanto and sold all of them straight away, just like in Hoenn. He noticed that this method is relatively safe if it is not used often and he wants to make money quickly. Although this method is a bit less secure than the old one, it is many times more effective. Alex had bought 206 silver Pokemon in 3 days and sold them again as he had already done in Hoenn. 11,309,803 were earned in these exhausting days. Who can guess how I came up with this number? Calculator needed. Unfortunately, Alex's daily expenses are really big. He pays around 15,000 Pokédollars in Pokemon food and around 20,000 Pokédollars in healing items and recovery items every day in order to be able to train for. That means that Alex has to spend at least 35,000 Pokédollars on basic expenses every day. In comparison, his personal costs are the costs of an expensive hotel or a joke. Though 35,000 Pokédollars doesn't sound like a lot if you factor in Alex taking after 3 days, it's ridiculous to pay even for the most elite trainers. For 35,000 Pokédollars you can buy a cheap, silver Pokemon, and that's not a little money to just spend on training and food. That's 1 million Pokédollars a month. Alex was really happy that he had the system or that he would have to try to earn money like all other trainers. But Alex knows that one reason is that his Pokemon level is so fast that he invests so much money in his Pokemon every day and he doesn't intend to stop because it costs a little. During these 11 days, Alex noticed that it was getting really difficult to even climb one level without training in the wild. Along with the fact that it is getting more and more difficult to climb even one level on the expert rank, its progress begins to slow down slowly for Pokemon like Gardevoir, Crobat, and Scizor. That had nothing to do with potential either, but that it is generally difficult to level up on the expert rank without training in the wild against strong Pokemon. For example, it took Steven's Metagross 40 days to level from 47 to 48. Although it may be that Metagross made a not easily visible jump, the level climb is still relatively slow. For example, from 47 with 1% to level 48 with 99%. Simply put, although it seems slow for Alex, he knows that many elite trainers need years to do a few levels because their insufficient potential makes the increasingly difficult. How Ditto slowly started leveling at level 35. Before 35 he had managed not to be easily overtaken by Gardevoir even with his silver potential, but as soon as he reached level 35 he started to slow down with every level. According to Alex's estimation, the deep gold only starts at level 55 to slow down, or at least from level 50 at the earliest. So it won't be a problem for the first time. Maybe only poor Ditto will suffer from this problem if Alex can't find a legendary item for Ditto. Alex Pokemon. Pokemon. Crobat. LV. 44. Type. Poison, Flying. Abilities. Inner Focus. Gender. Male. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Innate Talent Shadow Ball E. Innate Talent Fly E. Innate Talent Cross Poison E. TM Protect. TM Toxic E. TM Sludge Bomb. TM Facade. TM Taunt E. TM Roost. TM Substitute. Pokemon. Scizor. LV. 44. Type. Bug, Steel. Abilities. Technician. Gender. Male. Potential. Deep Gold. Leer. Quick Attack. Focus Energy. Double Team. Feint. Fury Cutter. Wing Attack. Agility E. Slash. Razor Wind. Iron Defense. X Scissor. Innate Talent Roost E. Innate Talent Metal Claw E. Innate Talent Brick Break E. TM Protect. TM Toxic. TM Thief. TM Facade. TM Giga Impact. TM U-Turn. TM Sandstorm. TM Substitute. TM Swords Dance E. Pokemon. Gardevoir. LV. 43. Type. Psychic Fairy. Abilities. Telepathy. Gender. Female. Move. Growl. Confusion. Double Team. Teleport E. Disarming Voice. Lucky Chant. Magical Leaf. Heal Pulse. Draining Kiss. Psychic E. Imprison. Future Sight. Innate talent disable E. Innate talent calm mind E. Innate talent dazzling gleam E. TM protect. TM shadow ball. TM will-o-wisp. TM thunderbolt. TM thunder wave. TM helping hand. TM focus blast. Dash. Pokemon. Ditto. LV. 41. Type. Normal. Abilities. Imposter hidden ability. Potential. Shallow gold. Move. Innate talent transform E. Dash. Pokemon. Bastiodon. LV. 41. Type. Rock steel. Abilities. Sturdy. Gender. Male. Potential. Deep gold. Move. Protect. Tackle. Metal sound. Take down. Iron defense. Swagger. Ancient power. Block. Endure. Innate talent rock polish E. Innate talent sleep talk E. Innate talent flamethrower E. TM taunt E. TM rock slide. TM rest. TM earthquake. TM flash cannon. Dash. Pokemon. Combustion. LV. 38. Type. Fire fighting. Abilities. Speed boost hidden ability. Gender. Female. Potential. Deep gold. Move. Growl. Scratch. Ember. Sand attack. Peck. Double kick. Flame charge. Quick attack. Bulk up. Innate talent attract E. Innate talent sunny day E. Innate talent overheat E. TM protect. TM flamethrower. TM rock slide. TM will-o-wisp E. TM poison jab. Dash. Pokemon. Eevee. LV. 40. Type. Normal. Ability. Adaptability. Gender. Female. Potential. Gold. Move. Growl. Tackle. Tail whip. Quick attack. Double kick. Sand attack. Bite. Swift. Take down. Double edge E. Helping hand. Charm. Baton pass. Innate talent rest E. Innate talent sleep talk E. Innate talent workup E. TM toxic. TM shadow ball. TM facade. TM protect. TM attract. Dash. Pokemon. Alolan Vulpix. LV. 17. Type. Ice. Ability. Snow cloak. Gender. Female. Potential. Gold. Move. Powder snow. Tail whip. Roar. Baby doll eyes. Ice shard. Confuse ray. Icy wind. Innate talent hex. Innate talent howl E. Innate talent blizzard. Dash. Pokemon. Shuppet. LV. 17. Type. Ghost. Abilities. Cursed body hidden ability. Gender. Male. Potential. Gold. Moves. Knock off. Screech. Nightshade. Spite. Shadow sneak. Will-o-wisp. Innate talent curse. Innate talent phantom force E. Innate talent destiny bond. Dash. Although Crobat, Scizor, Ditto, and Bastiodon have all gone up a level, Crobat and Scizor only got up yesterday, so it can't really be compared. Alex is sure that Gardevoir is about to level up and doesn't need much more to get to level 44. Compared to the Pokemon on the expert rank, Eevee and Combusken have progressed faster. Especially Eevee has managed to raise 2 levels. On the first day out of 11, Eevee turned 39, and yesterday she only turned 40. The 2 newcomers have changed the most by far. Vulpix and Shuppet have both progressed more than 10 levels and both trained a move to the expert rank. They also learned a lot of new moves. Vulpix. Roar. Baby doll eyes. Ice shard. Confuse ray. Icy wind new. Shuppet. Nightshade. Spite. Shadow sneak. Will-o-wisp new. The great progress is that Crobat, Scizor, Gardevoir, and Eevee have trained a new move on the expert rank. That was of course not because they quickly mastered their moves, but because they started training their moves before 11 days ago so that they had more time than the rest. Crobat had trained the move Taunt on the expert rank on the 9th day and then immediately started to train the move Venoshock according to Alex's instructions. Scizor had trained the move Agility on the expert rank on the 10th day and then immediately started to train the move Focus Energy according to Alex's instructions. Gardevoir had trained the move Psychic to the expert rank on the 4th day and then immediately started to train the move Focus Blast according to Alex's instructions. Eevee had trained the move Double Edge on the expert rank on the 9th day and then immediately started to train the move Facade according to Alex's instructions. Alex started to go to the kitchen and slowly prepare breakfast for himself and his Pokemon when he saw that he had received a message. He was bored on his TRH device and saw that Maria asked if he was in Saffron City and if he had time today. Alex, who saw this message, could briefly not believe that this is a message from Maria. Did Maria just ask me out on a date? Thought Alex when he had to process this unlikely thought. Chapter 192. Alex was sitting on a bench in a public park, waiting for Maria to arrive. He wore a stylish leather jacket and skinny blue jeans that went relatively well with his red cap. After he had accepted the date from Maria, he decided to up his dressing style a bit. On a date, you at least gotta look good. And for that, you gotta have to expend some time and effort. Though Alex doesn't really like wasting time doing something like this. He also came 15 minutes earlier to make sure that he isn't late compared to Maria. And his caution was proven correct after 5 minutes, as Maria came in stylish jeans, a red top, and a white cap that went well with her dark red hair and blue eyes. Together with her good looks and captivating figure for her age, she attracted many unwanted stares. But her cold glare scared many men wanting to approach her. Her eyes looked very similar to a cold-blooded snake, Arbic, which was really unusual considering her age. Maria saw Alex waiting at the lonely place and stepped in his direction. Alex saw Maria and began walking in her direction with a striking smile on his face. When he got close enough, he looked into Maria's eyes and said, "You know, Maria, I don't believe in angels, but I guess I gotta change my mind after looking at you. I have to say that you look really breathtaking today." She answered with a slight smirk. "As always, you start with your poor flirting." Alex faked the expression of pain. "Why did you hurt me in such a manner?" The sharpness in Maria's eyes intensified as she looked at Alex and made a dangerous smile. "Tilda, so you really look at me like I'm an angel?" Alex looked at Maria with a sincere expression and said, "No, to speak honestly, an angel is too pure, and I would never fall in love with an angel. I would say you are more like a fallen angel, a corrupted angel." Maria looked at Alex's eyes and saw that there was a surprising sincereness. Knowing that this compliment came from his heart, she couldn't help but be a little happy inside. Although Alex was still flirting with her, she liked being compared to a fallen angel. It was more honest than being called an angel. Sometimes, honest feelings are more impactful than flattering words. Her expression softened a little bit, but she still said with an indifferent face, "Okay, enough with your nonsense. I didn't ask for a meeting to hear your compliments." Alex showed a smiling expression and said, "So you are giving our date the term, meeting, huh?" Maria, who had already expected Alex to say something like this, smiled a little when she said, "Oh Tilda, you thought I asked you out on a date? Hey, someone's quite conceited." She realized that her lips had transformed into a smile and instantly changed her face to her serious mode again. No, I wanted to talk to you about meeting the boss for tomorrow. Alex showed a serious expression and said, "Okay, let's find a quiet place to talk." After the two started going to the place together, Alex said before even 5 seconds had passed, "But after this talk, we will still go on a date." Maria ignored him but was internally quite satisfied with his declaration. Alex, who had enough experience dealing with Maria, knew that Maria had given him a silent approval and gave a flirtatious smile. After Alex and Maria hadn't even met for 2 minutes, they both saw a blonde, good-looking 18-year-old girl walking by. She was a gorgeous woman even in the Pokemon world and similarly beautiful to Maria or Lisa. There are people who would give these blonde girls a 10 and Maria a 9, and there would be people who would do it the other way round. But both girls were ravishing in beauty. Alex looked at the girl but didn't show any particular expression. Although she looks good, she wasn't his type. The blonde girl's gaze fell on Alex and showed a bright, pure smile as she came up to him and said, "Wow. Aren't you Alex from this year's Kanto tournament? I became your biggest fan when I saw you defeat your opponent stronger than you with your skills." Alex, who had already heard such compliments a few times, showed a fake smile and said, "Thank you for such sweet words. Are you shopping with your little sister?" The blonde girl had looked at Maria's wrist before saying the words, "little sister." Maria has a B cup and almost a C cup, which is quite good for her age. But compared to this blonde girl, who has the DD cup, Maria's cup size looked a bit small. Maria did not get angry but looked coldly at the blonde girl for a second. Her eyes showed an ice-cold look, and she looked like a snake that was about to tear its prey to pieces. TCH, I'll give you 10 seconds to run away from here, or I'll find you and... You don't need me to specify it, right? Then she glared at the blonde girl and waited for her response. The blonde girl saw the abnormal cold glare and felt that if she really didn't run away immediately, she would lose her life today. She has often seen cold glances but never such an emotionless and deadly look that wakes her instinct to run away. She immediately panicked and ran away without saying anything. While running, she lost one of her high heels but kept running without picking it up. Alex started to laugh seeing this and put an arm around Maria's shoulder as he wanted to lead her to a quiet place. Ha 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 ha, did you see her look? Ha ha ha. Maria went together with Alex, who was still trying to control his laughter, and showed a faint smile. Chapter 193. Alex and Maria found a quiet place to talk but didn't start the discussion straight away. Without a moment's hesitation, Alex pulled Gardevoir out of her Pokeball and said, "Can you watch out that no ghost-type Pokemon is present, eavesdropping while hiding in a shadow?" Although it was very unlikely for something like that to happen, Alex didn't want to take any risks if he can prevent it. Maria, who saw that Alex had called out a psychic-type Pokemon, realized his constant vigilance and understood the reason behind it. She said with a solemn expression, "Well, now that we can talk, I wanted to ask you what you think about this meeting with the boss." Hard to say. I don't know any more than you that it's about a special position. Yes, I also heard that. As far as I know, at least Marco and Janine will also come. Although I don't know 100% for sure, it wouldn't make sense otherwise. Alex looked curiously in the direction of Maria as he said, "And, why did you call me here to meet to talk about it today?" Maria looked at Alex for a few seconds and said placidly, "Although we haven't known each other for long, I would like to say that we have built up at least a little bit of trust." Alex interrupted Maria with a knowing smile, "You want us to work together on the test?" "Not necessarily. I don't know what the test is about yet, but I think it would be good if we keep this option open beforehand." She paused for a moment before saying, "I just recently became an elite trainer and only have 2 Pokemon at LV40. Although I'm not sure how strong you are, having seen your Gardevoir, who I assume is at LV42, your Scizor and Crobat should also have a similar level. But even if you still have a bit of strength hidden, you are a good deal weaker than Marco and Janine." Alex had to admit that he had underestimated Maria a bit. The fact that Maria was already on the elite rank at her age is quite impressive. She has the same talent as a weak gym leader at this age, which is really amazing. Maria shouldn't have a problem becoming a powerful elite trainer after a few years and later, an executive. Alex, who knew how to separate his professional and personal life, showed a deadpan face when he said, "Why are you telling me that? Why are you choose to tell your opponent your strength, whether true or false?" Maria, looking at Alex with a poker face, couldn't help but show a faint smile. She felt that Alex was looking a little handsome right now. "Wait, I'll explain exactly why. At the Team Rocket Rookie Tournament almost 4 months ago, both Marco and Janine were already elite trainers. So I think it's fair to say that they both have a great level advantage over you. The reason I am telling you this is because I know that I can't win this test, but I can help you win this test." Alex showed a slightly suspicious expression when he said, "This sounds too good to be true." Maria showed a slight smirk that looked a bit creepy with her cold, sharp eyes. But to Alex, it looked very cute. "We can talk more about what you can give me as a reward later. But I can tell you now that it won't be cheap." Alex understood what Maria was going for and why she had brought the strength of other competitors beforehand. Smart, thought Alex as he saw through Maria's tactics. He gave a warm smile as he said, "Maria, of course, I would be very delighted to get your help. Don't worry, if we have the chance to work together, I'll come up with an appropriate reward for your help." Maria looked at Alex for a few seconds with scrutinizing eyes. "Alex, the only reason why I came to you and not to the other 2 participants is that we already know each other a bit, and I trust you more than them." After a short pause, she gave a threatening glare as she said, "But if you try to deceive me, I'll make you end up like the last person who tried that." Alex didn't show a fearful expression but a curious one. "Oh, so, what did you do with the other person?" Maria showed a playful expression when she said, "Sure. I don't mind telling you. After I was kicked out of the orphanage, I tried to find a job and met this one disgusting man. Long story short, he tried to turn me into a prostitute. And he was almost successful because I was alone and weak at that time. After she said that, her eyes started to glow with madness when she said, but he picked the wrong person for this. When he tried to put a disgusting part in my mouth, I bit right through it and made sure that it would never work again. I just made him pay for what he tried to do with me. I thought he was going to kill me for it, but I overestimated this man. He screamed loudly and didn't move at first, then started wailing and flailed around while covering the damaged part. I took advantage of this chance and jumped out the window and ran for my life. After hiding in the garbage, I escaped my late pursuits. Alex, knowing that Maria was willing to tell him such a personal story, felt her trust in him. He knew that Maria didn't want pity, and if he guessed it right, she thinks this situation is nothing misfortunate. The strong eat the weak. And as the weak won, she defeated someone stronger than her, which made her very proud. Since she said this was the last person who tried that, this encounter might have motivated her to join Team Rocket. Both had a kind of madness and cold character, but neither was really crazy or sadistic. Chapter 194. It was an early morning filled with the chirping of many low-level Pidgey. Due to Alex's room not being on a higher floor, he could hear them even in the sleepy state. It was almost time for him to wake up, so he removed his laziness and woke up. As he sat on the bed for a few seconds with his half-closed eyes, he first stretched his body to remove the rigidness left due to the night's sleep. After a big yawn, he got out of the bed. The meeting with Maria yesterday had gone pretty well, and later he went out to eat lunch with Maria. Although the two are not officially together yet, the conversation had a real impact on Alex and Maria's relationship, who exchanged relatively openly. Alex told Maria a lot about his personal stuff, though the secrets such as how he earned his money or having a system were kept secret. Especially how he earns his money, Alex would like to never tell anyone. And even if he trusts Maria completely, he would probably keep it hidden. The secret with the system is not dangerous anyway because he cannot prove that he has a system. Of course, he does not want to let anyone know that either. But if somebody finds out that he said that he has a system, she would probably first think that Alex has a problem with his head. Especially since the people in Pokemon don't know what exactly is a system. Alex went to the kitchen and, like every morning, started preparing breakfast for everyone. He was a bit excited today because he will be meeting Giovanni today and get the chance to achieve a special position. Asterisk. 3 hours later, a 20-years-old Team Rocket member, who had an average, at best, face, made his way to Lisa's office. Alex, who had entered the Team Rocket base with his new identity, was on his way with the excuse of having an appointment with Lisa, which Lisa had confirmed. He knocked on Lisa's door and only opened it when she said, "Come in, Tilda." Lisa showed a knowing look and said, "You know Tilda, Alex. Your new face is really average. Isn't that a bit of a waste, Tilda?" Alex, who knew that Lisa had naturally known about his new ID, responded with a smile, "It's good that it's so average. The fewer impressions I leave, the better." Lisa smiled provocatively, but then she said solemnly, "Okay, let's not keep boss waiting any longer." Alakazam, who was standing next to Lisa, immediately teleported Maria and Alex. Alex, Maria, and Alakazam disappeared from the office. After a few seconds, Alakazam reappeared in the office. Alakazam looked in the direction of Lisa and said telepathically, "The boy has started to train his talent." Lisa gave a curious look and asked, "Oh Tilda, can you judge what talent he has?" "Yes, it should be rank 3. But it's still at the beginning and doesn't have a lot of psychic energy in his body." "Rank 3, Tilda, rank 3 is good but also nothing special. By the way, why didn't you tell me at the first meeting?" Alakazam gave a small smile when she said, "Before, he was a poor guy that you can overlook if you don't look for it directly. Now it's a little different." Lisa showed a thoughtful expression and said, "From now on, test the potential of people who come in here every time, got it, Tilda?" Alakazam just nodded in reply. Alex and Maria were teleported into a beautifully decorated room at the same time. Alakazam, who teleported with the two of them, had only stayed there for 5 seconds before teleporting away again. Alex looked around the room and saw 3 different people standing in the room. A short man with a fortress next to him, a young girl with purple hair and a sharp look that can kill someone, and a young, handsome man with eyes that looked like a falcon. Alex immediately looked at the info of the only Pokemon present in this room. Pokemon. Fortress. LV. 53. Type. Bug, Steel. Ability. Sturdy. Gender. Male. Potential. Gold. Moves. Protect. Tackle. Self-destruct. Bug Bite. Take Down. Rapid Spin. Bide. Natural Gift. Spikes. Payback. Iron Defense. Euro Ball. Double Edge. Innate Talent Explosion M. Innate Talent Endure E. Innate Talent Hyper Beam. Dash. Alex, who saw this information, couldn't help but suck in a long breath of surprise, looking at this little man as a crazy one. And he recognized this little man almost immediately, too. That was Car that Alex had seen in a Pokemon manga and is known for having Fortress almost exclusively and using it as a bomb. Who in their right mind only trains one move effectively? Thought Alex. This is also the first time Alex saw such a powerful Pokemon that hasn't trained all of its innate talent moves at least to the expert rank. That showed that this short man had used most of the training time with the explosion and only trained Endure a bit to use it in a combo with it. Wait, how do you train the move explosion? If it's how I am imagining it, it should be almost impossible to train this move on the master rank. Car must have a trick to train it easier, thought Alex. Car didn't wait for a second and said with a professional smile, "Okay, now that everyone is here, let's go. Follow me, everyone." Then he opened the door and led the group. Alex walked next to Maria and looked at the other 2 participants. Janine also looked at Alex, who was still wearing his Ditto mask. But she showed no expression or emotions when she looked at him. For her, each of these people was an obstacle to overcome as quickly as possible. Though she was a bit confused why this 20-year-old nobody trainer was also a participant. Alex, who saw this blank mask of a face, thought inwardly, this really is a look of an assassin. Though they call themselves ninja. Then he looked in the direction of Marco, who ignored him. Marco did not appear in the games or manga, so Alex had no information regarding him. He had only heard that Marco's deceased father was a top member in Team Rocket, and that's all he knows. After less than 1 minute, the group arrived in front of a large door. Car, who had led them there, said goodbye with the words, "Okay, I have completed my task. I'll be going then." Chapter 195. Marco didn't hesitate for a second and immediately knocked on the door they were standing in front of. After hearing the words, "Come in," he opened the door. Alex entered alongside Marco into the room with a sedate expression on his face. Although he had met Giovanni before, Alex could not assess the boss of Team Rocket particularly well. He had felt that Giovanni was not easy to see through and is a bit like himself. Alex, Maria, Marco, and Janine entered the large office almost simultaneously and saw Giovanni sitting quietly on his chair and caressing Persian. Although Alex was looking at the info of Persian after a long while, it was still at LV 59. Alex could not find any visible difference from the first meeting with Giovanni. Giovanni looked at the 4 with a satisfied smile as he spoke. "I'm really impressed that so many strong rookies have entered Team Rocket this year. Each of you is already an elite trainer with at least 3 elite Pokemon, even though none of you are 18 yet." Then he laughed and said, "Haha, in comparison, all other rookies look like trash. I think it was over 10 years ago that such a number of talents appeared in 1 year." After a short pause, he continued with a smile, "And this is your chance. Since this year is so good, I have decided to give each one of you an incredible chance. The chance to reach a higher position as an executive." Alex felt that something didn't quite fit. Even if this year had some very impressive rookies, there shouldn't be a reason why Giovanni will choose rookies instead of older members for this new position. Giovanni, who saw those surprised and confused eyes of everyone with his keen eyes as he said, "I can understand your confusion. In normal cases, you would never have such a chance. Let me explain it a bit more to you. Team Rocket has now expanded almost to its maximum in Kanto and Johto, and has little opportunity to grow much further. So there are only 2 ways left for Team Rocket to develop more. The first is to defeat the Alliance and control Kanto completely. And the second possibility is to expand in other regions. The first option is impossible for now, and the second option has encountered a problem. Giovanni looked at the four teenagers with piercing eyes and no expression on his face. I've been trying to build a Team Rocket base in Hoenn for several years, but the problem is that the whole underground organization in Hoenn reacts very strongly against it. Hoenn doesn't have a large underground organization like Team Rocket but has several medium-sized organizations like Gang Knight or the recently emerged Team Magma and Team Aqua. In addition, there are many relatively small organizations that make Hoenn very chaotic. The problem is that every time Team Rocket tries to build up in Hoenn, we are attacked by every single organization from there. Which makes it impossible for Team Rocket to lay the foundation for future activities there. Team Rocket doesn't have enough free members to be able to fight against all of Hoenn, so I thought of a different plan when I saw rookies with a lot of potential this year. Giovanni showed a faint smirk. I will get one of you the position of Hoenn Team Rocket leader and thus supervise an entire region. Each of you has the potential to become a Team Rocket executive and enough time to build your own organization in Hoenn. Team Rocket cannot give you any personnel because otherwise, the Hoenn underground organization will find out quickly. And of course, you must not tell any of your members that this new organization is part of Team Rocket. Giovanni looked at the four and said, but Team Rocket won't leave you alone and provide you with items, money, Pokemon, and any resource required. This position is very important, so I have to find out which of you is best suited for this job. It's not just about strength, but also about whether you know how to use subordinates and manage an organization. Alex, who heard this, felt that this position was an incredible opportunity for him. Although it is a bit risky, the benefits are enormous. He had the feeling that this plan is only possible because so many talented trainers are here this year for the Team Rockets to slowly build up there. Marco showed a confident expression when he asked, Uncle, how will you decide which of us is the most suitable for this position? Giovanni looked at Marco without showing any emotion and said, the test determining that will only take place in a year. All four teenagers in the room showed a surprised expression. This test has nothing to do with strength. I allow each of you to build a team that fights along with you. Each of you can bring 3 subordinates to this test. Giovanni showed a knowing smile when he said, of course, to be fair, none of your subordinates must have reached the age of 18 years. And, you have a year to choose your subordinates and train them. Alex, who heard this, immediately understood how important these 3 subordinates will be for this test. If he managed to find 3 subordinates that are as strong as himself, he would almost automatically win this test. Unfortunately, that's almost, if not entirely, impossible. Giovanni looked at the 4 people in the room who were all thinking about different things and said, I will also give each of you a few missions from time to time that you can accept. These missions will not give you an advantage in the test, but the rewards will be better than the normal mission ones. So, you can do them if you want to. After seeing how each of these 4 people had a confident expression, he said with a small smile, I would like to tell you that each of you can refuse to take this test if you want. When he saw the uninterested looks, Giovanni said, and yes, anyone who refuses this test can get a Dratini, Bagon, or Gibble that's on the S rank. Alex and the rest showed surprised expressions when they heard of this reward. Alex couldn't understand for a moment why Giovanni was doing this. Wait, does he want to prevent the person who has almost no chance of victory from joining forces with other participants? Does he know about my conversation with Maria, or did he expect something like that? Maria, who heard this reward, couldn't help but show her hesitation. Although this position of Giovanni is better than this reward, you have to win the test first to get this position. She knows that she has almost no chance, and it would be more worthwhile for her if she would take this reward and give up taking part in this test. But when she thought about the conversation with Alex, she didn't know what to do for a moment. After a few seconds, she looked at Giovanni and asked, Boss, can I become a member of another participant's team even after I have given up? Giovanni showed a knowing smile and nodded. Maria stopped thinking and told Giovanni that she would like to give up the chance to participate in this test and that she would like to receive a Gibble. Alex, who heard this, showed no particular emotion. It would be better for him if Maria would still take part so that he would have a total of 17 members. But he could understand why Maria would not give up everything for him. The fact that she had already asked Giovanni regarding joining another team showed that she was at least a little bit considerate of him despite neither of them having an agreement yet. He felt that Giovanni would have used other tricks to make this fair if Maria had not accepted this offer. Giovanni looked at Alex and Maria's face and showed an easy-to-miss, knowing smile. Chapter 196. Alex, who noticed the smile on Giovanni's face, showed a helpless look. It seemed that he had to pass the test without any great advantages. To be frank, he was already quite satisfied that he could add Maria to his team. He doubted that either of them could find a better subordinate under the age of 18 than Maria. Now the question is, what will Maria ask for this help? I'm sure it won't be cheap, thought Alex. Marco and Janine looked at Maria with an interested stare. The two also openly showed an interest in Maria. Giovanni looked at Alex's face and said, "Alex, take off the mask. It's only fair that everyone knows each other's faces." Alex knew that none of these people would betray his identity since it would equate to a betrayal of Team Rocket. And even if they do, it is unlikely that the Alliance would believe that. Marco and Janine both showed a slightly surprised expression when they saw the real face of Alex. Neither would have thought that the winner of the Kanto Rookie Tournament was a Team Rocket member. Both could now understand a little better why Alex can take part in this test. Although both were briefly surprised, neither of them was afraid of Alex. They saw the tournament and knew that Alex's level was technically very weak, strength-wise, and had only won against Misty by a trick. Although he should be stronger now, he shouldn't be much stronger than Maria. Both were sure that their Pokémon were much stronger than Alex's. Giovanni said sternly, "By the way, don't try to look for loopholes in these rules. You'd better use the time to train yourself and your team. That's a tip from me. I'll send you the exact rules later, so no need to waste time with them right now." Alex immediately understood what he meant. Although Giovanni didn't say it, it would definitely be forbidden to use Pokémon that do not belong to you or that you have borrowed from someone else. Such things will undoubtedly appear in the rules to keep this competition fair. Giovanni looked again briefly at each of the three and said, encouraging them, "The three of you have a unique chance. Train hard this year yourself and your team if you want to gain this position. Only the best get what they want in Team Rocket. See you in a year." Giovanni stopped looking at the group and focused back on his desk. Alex said goodbye and walked out the door. Maria, Marco, and Janine also followed quickly, and all left Giovanni's office. As the door of Giovanni's office closed, a man slowly began to emerge from a dark part of the office. It looked as if the man had managed to hide in this place the whole time without letting anyone realize his presence. Giovanni gave a small smile and said, "Your daughter is really very similar to you." Koga stood in front of Giovanni and said, "Thank you, boss. But I have a question." Giovanni said while looking at him with his domineering eyes, "Speak." Koga kept his emotionless face steady when he said, "This new position is very important for Team Rocket. That's why I don't understand why you want to give rookies where trust is not great. Only my daughter won't betray Team Rocket for 100%. Giovanni smiled. "The only way you can have the courage to betray Team Rocket is when you reach a level similar to that of Team Rocket. Even if each of them has very good potential, I don't think it's possible." Then he showed a confident expression. "I didn't get to this position because I'm weak or untalented. I've never suppressed a subordinate just because they have great potential. And the reason I do it is very simple. I have bigger goals than maintaining my current position and I can't achieve those goals if Team Rocket and I don't get much stronger. I'm not afraid even if one of my subordinates has the strength of a champion." Giovanni said with a very calm expression, "I am Giovanni, the leader of the largest underground organization in the world and not a third-class leader, the fear that his subordinates will become too strong for him to handle." Koga, who heard this very arrogant tone, did not see arrogance but rather self-confidence. He felt that Giovanni really wasn't afraid of these new talents overtaking him. He couldn't agree with anything other than what Giovanni said. He didn't think that the person who had built Team Rocket to this giant in less than 15 years would be afraid of talented people in Team Rocket. Koga looked at Giovanni with respectful eyes when he thought, a truly worthy leader. As the four left the office, they began to look at each other. Marco first tried to dissolve this stagnation as he looked in the direction of Maria and said with a friendly smile, "Maria, we met again after so many months. I'm glad that we now have time to talk to each other." Janine also looked in the direction of Maria. She didn't say anything and just gave Maria her contact details. Marco, who saw this, also gave Maria his contact details. Maria, who realized that she suddenly became very popular, showed a small appreciative smile as she took both pieces of paper. He knew that Maria's first choice was always him because trust was very important with such a partnership. As long as he gives satisfying terms, Maria should be safe in his team. When the four of them went back to the little man's room, they saw an Alakazam standing there waiting for someone. Alex smiled when he said, "Oh Maria, our pickup service is here." Marco showed a cold expression for a second but said nothing. He shouldn't be making an enemy now. It's just not clever to make enemies unnecessary. If he and Alex become enemies, that would only give Janine an advantage. Janine continued to show an emotionless expression and remained silent as she had always been. Alex and Maria instantly disappeared from this room together with Alakazam via teleport. Chapter 197. Maria, Alex, and Alakazam appeared again in Lisa's office out of thin air. Lisa looked at the two of them and asked with a teasing smile, "And did you two have fun, Tilda?" Alex smiled and pulled Ditto out of his Pokeball again to use it as a mask. Then he said, "Executive Lisa, do you know anything about the test?" Lisa gave a small smile and shook her head. No, really Tilda. Don't look at me like that, Tilda. The boss didn't tell me anything." Maria looked at Lisa and said, "Sister Lisa, I have to discuss something with Alex. I'll call you later." After she had said that, both of them told Lisa goodbye and made their way to leave the office. Lisa looked at the two of them and said with a playful smile, "Don't forget to use a circa O-N-D-O-M, or one of you will have to stay at home and take care of the baby, foo Tilda." Alex smiled when he heard this and started shaking his head. He also looked at Maria to see how she reacted. She opened the door and began to leave the room without saying another word. Alex smiled and said, "Executive Lisa, don't worry. I always have 5 pieces of circa O-N-D-O-M with me in an emergency." Then he followed Maria, who looked at him coldly as she turned around. Lisa looked at the door that slowly closed and couldn't help but laugh out loud as she thought, 5 pieces for one night. Tilda, good to know, Tilda. Alex and Maria both stood in front of the door to Lisa's office and briefly looked at each other. Maria said with an embarrassed look, "We have to talk." Alex, who already knew this look, said with a smile, "I have a good place. Follow me." After less than 10 seconds, Maria couldn't help asking Alex when they were walking, "Was that a joke with the 5 pieces or do you really have it?" Alex looked at Maria's face and couldn't help but chuckle. He didn't say anything and just laughed softly for a few seconds as they both continued down the floor. Maria showed an annoyed expression and began to pinch Alex's arm hard while walking. Her face was also a little reddish when she thought about what she had just asked. When Alex had calmed down a bit and noticed the slight pain in his arm, he couldn't help but smile wryly. He found that Maria really had a cute side to her that she rarely shows. When Maria stopped pinching Alex's arm, he said, "It wasn't a joke." Then he looked curiously in the direction of Maria. Maria looked in the direction of Alex and immediately ignored him. Alex showed a slightly disappointed expression and thought, "Well, it would have been too good to be true." 10 minutes later, Alex and Maria were sitting at the table in Alex's hotel. He made coffee for Maria and himself and sat across from her. Maria drank a little and realized that this coffee was pretty good. Although it wasn't the best she'd ever drunk, it was pretty good. Alex started to look at Maria and said, "Maria, I would like to ask first if the offer is still open." Maria, who understood what offer Alex was talking about, showed a carefree expression when she said, "Yes, as long as you make a good offer." She started to look at him coldly as she said, "Tell me directly what you are giving me and what benefits will I get, and I will decide if it's good enough." Alex knew that Maria's position is now very popular in this test and that his offer should not be much worse than the other two. He made an earnest expression when he said, "I'll tell you all the benefits I'm gonna give you, and then we can talk about whether you're happy with them. First of all, I will give you the vice leader position in the new region, and you will have the second most power after me. Maria gave an attentive look when she heard this. She had already expected something like this, and it was only fitting for her to get such a position. They wouldn't be able to find a better person than her to be in such a position. In this position, you will not only get power but also a part of the income. A percentage share. Believe me, Maria, when I tell you that this position is really good and that if I win, you will also have a great advantage. Maria looked into Alex's eyes, and after a few seconds, she said, "It sounds good, but that's not enough." Alex knew that it really wasn't sufficient. If Maria joins his team, the advantage of the test is a lot higher than without Maria. He's sure that Maria is probably the strongest trainer of all the non-participants who can join this team, so it's a really desired advantage. I will give you a sum of 5 million and the information of an undisturbed place where you can train your Pokemon very well if you accept this offer. Alex had no problem bringing in 5 million as an offer. The stronger Maria is, the better it is for Alex. This offer helps both him and Maria. Maria looked at Alex, and her gaze began to soften a little. She noticed that Alex was not trying to make the best offer for himself only but to make both himself and herself happy at the same time. He also started right away with a large sum, like 5 million, and did not try to negotiate with Maria to reduce the amount. She looked into Alex's eyes for a few seconds silently and said, "Okay, Alex, I'll trust you on this one. I agree to join your team." Alex, who felt Gardevoir's Pokeball shook for a second, knew that it was a signal from Gardevoir that Maria was speaking sincerely. After confirming that Maria had told the truth, he suddenly felt disgusted with himself. Although it is logical not to be able to trust Maria completely, he shouldn't assume that Maria wants to betray him every 2 seconds. This is not a healthy thought, and he shouldn't have a constant fear of betrayal. Alex also looked back deep into the eyes of Maria when he said, "Thank you, Maria." Then he got the whole 5 million Pokédollars and a copy of the map and information about the island from his TRH device. Although it was a bit risky to give Maria the money right away, Alex felt that it makes no sense if only Maria trusts him, but he doesn't reciprocate her feelings. Alex smiled as he immediately gave Maria the promised reward. And then, he held Maria's both hands and said with utmost sincerity, "I trust you too." Maria's gaze melted as she looked at Alex and felt his emotions. She didn't look at the 5 million or the map but just got lost in the newfound emotions she was currently feeling. Both began to lose interest in each other as they forgot about their surroundings while holding hands. Without exchanging any words, both heads slowly began to come closer to one another simultaneously. She drew him toward her with her eyes. Alex inclined his face toward hers, and both of their lips touched each other. Chapter 198. Alex opened his eyes and first saw someone lying next to him. He started recalling last night and made a happy expression as he got out of bed. After Alex and Maria kissed each other, something seemed to have awakened inside them, and neither of them stopped at the kiss. It is as if a small fire had ignited in a forest that grew so much that it was impossible to put it out. Alex carried Maria into his bedroom and then kissed her passionately on the bed. He had already expected that Maria would say no and end this night. But to his surprise, she started to take off his shirt and look at him with her beautiful cold blue craving eyes. Alex did not hesitate and enjoyed that night with Maria. I won't go into details exactly. This FIC doesn't have the R18 tag, so you shouldn't have expected the lemons to begin with. Alex went into the kitchen and saw how all his Pokemon were in there enjoying their food. It seemed that Gardevoir had already prepared the food for the other Pokemon. Crobat, who saw Alex enter the kitchen, looked at him with a strange look. Alex, who saw this expression, remembered that Crobat was sleeping in front of the open window in his room. Therefore, he probably had heard the sound of Alex and Maria's night activity. When this thought came to his mind, he made a discomfited expression as well. Next time, I shouldn't forget to put Crobat in his Pokeball, thought Alex as he started to make breakfast for himself and Maria. Alex chose to ignore Crobat's constant staring. After not even 5 minutes had passed, Maria came into the big kitchen with her 5 Pokemon. Fortunately, the hotel was spacious, so there was plenty of room for Pokemon. Also, there weren't very large-sized Pokemon, so everyone could stay in there even though it was getting tight. The tallest Pokemon of Maria was Nidoqueen, that was much larger than the normal one at 1.8 meters high. Arbok is longer but takes less space. Along with Bastiodon, these two Pokemon took the most space in the kitchen. Alex's Pokemon and Maria's Pokemon started looking at each other first before talking to each other a bit. Maria sat down at the table next to Alex's place and waited for breakfast without a word. Alex gave a small smile and continued to prepare breakfast. While cooking, he also looked at the information of Maria's Pokemon. Pokemon. Arbok, LV. 41. Type. Poison. Ability. Intimidate. Gender. Female. Potential. Deep Gold. Moves. Poison Sting. Wrap. Leer. Acid. Bite. Haze. Glare. Poison Jab. Stockpile E. Spit Up. Swallow. Slam. TM Protect. TM Sludge Bomb. TM Toxic. TM Mega Drain. TM Facade. TM Earthquake. TM Giga Impact. TM Payback. TM Substitute. TM Swagger. Pokemon. Sandslash. LV. 38. Type. Ground. Ability. Sand Veil. Gender. Female. Potential. Shallow Gold. Moves. Innate Talent Facade E. Innate Talent Earthquake E. Innate Talent Aerial Ace E. TM Protect. TM Headbutt. TM Rock Slide. TM Shadow Claw. TM Brick Break. TM X Scissor. Pokemon. Pidgeot. LV. 42. Type. Normal Flying. Ability. Keen Eye. Gender. Female. Potential. Gold. Tackle. Sand Attack. Gust. Mirror Move. Quick Attack. Wing Attack. Whirlwind. Agility. E. Feather Dance. Air Slash. Innate Talent Fly E. Innate Talent Roost E. Innate Talent Hyper Beam E. TM Protect. TM Facade. TM Steel Wing. TM U-Turn. TM Substitute. TM Double Team. Pokemon. Nidoqueen. LV. 39. Type. Poison Ground. Ability. Sheer Force Hidden Ability. Gender. Female. Moves. Growl. Scratch. Tail Whip. Poison Sting. Double Kick. Bite. Helping Hand. Toxic. Superpower. Innate Talent Fire Punch E. Innate Talent Ice Punch E. Innate Talent Thunder Punch E. TM Protect. TM Hyper Beam. TM Rock Slide. TM Sandstorm. TM Brick Break. TM Sand Tomb. Pokemon. Gible. LV. 6. Type. Dragon Ground. Ability. Sand Veil. Gender. Male. Potential. Gold. Moves. Tackle. Sand Attack. Innate Talent Thrash. Innate Talent Dragon Claw. Innate Talent Draco Meteor. Maria must have really started training hard after her defeat to me, or she wouldn't be this strong. Even if she is a little behind me, thought Alex when he saw this information. Alex was a bit shocked when he first saw the info of Maria's Pokemon. He really had underestimated Maria's strength a bit. Not only did she have two Pokemon on the elite level but also two Pokemon that were soon to reach elite rank with their current levels 38 and 39. In addition, the potential of each of these Pokemon was really good. Every Pokemon has at least shallow gold potential, and Arbok was even on the deep gold rank. In addition, Maria's Gible will almost certainly exceed the deep gold rank in the future. And with Arbok, for whom it is not so difficult to improve her potential again, she will have another Pokemon on Shallow Diamond. Arbok should have a better chance than Crobat or Scizor because she was born on the shallow gold potential. And thus having it much easier than Crobat or Scizor to improve her potential. Alex was also a bit surprised that Giovanni gave such a good Pokemon to Maria. But after a few seconds, he realized why. For all trainers, a shallow gold, or even deep gold is just an S-rank Pokemon. Giovanni couldn't have known that Gible had such good talent. Alex, who had already seen the potential of several Pokemon, knew how rare a born gold Pokemon is compared to a born shallow gold. According to his estimation, the chance of finding born gold Pokemon is 1/20th of finding born shallow gold. This number is only in comparison to shallow gold and gold without having to find a Pokemon above the deep silver potential. There was a reason that Alex only found 2 born gold Pokemon without the Pokemon of trainers after reading over 10,000 pieces of information from Pokemon. Alex sat down next to Maria after he had put breakfast for herself and her on the table. Did you sleep well? Maria looked at Alex's face, and after seeing his usual expression, she said softly, yes, thank you. Alex noticed how Maria was slowly getting warm, gave a grin, and began to enjoy his breakfast. Maria and Alex talked at breakfast and had a relatively casual conversation. After breakfast, Maria started to collect her things and brought her Pokemon back to her Pokeballs. Alex, who saw this, showed a slightly confused expression. Maria looked at Alex and said without changing her face, I still want to fly to this island to train my Pokemon better, so I have to go now. After that, her face slightly blushed as she spoke, just to be sure. You know we're together now, don't you? Alex, who saw this cute expression from Maria, started to chuckle slightly with a smile. Seeing the contrast in Maria's cold eyes and Maria's personality, he couldn't do anything other than laugh. When he noticed that Maria's eyes were getting colder and sharper, he stopped laughing. Sorry, you looked so cute that I couldn't do anything else. Then he went in front of Maria, gave her a goodbye kiss, and said, of course, we are together. Then he started speaking in a joking tone, do you think you can just run away after using my body? I'm not an easy man. Maria gave a small smile as she said, I'm starting to question my decision after hearing that awful joke. Alex smiled and said nothing as he watched Maria open the door. After Maria had opened the door, she looked at Alex and said with a killing expression, if you cheat, I'll tear your piece off. Alex just smiled when he heard that. Haha, I love you too, Maria. Maria showed a small smile and started walking out of the room. Chapter 199. Alex went back to the training room where his Pokemon was and sat on a chair silently, keeping in mind to not disturb them. Thanks to meeting Maria, he was in a jovial mood. Because, for the first time, he met someone who really understands him, or at least that's how he feels. For the first time, he is not in a relationship only for physical intimacy. Physical intimacy is important in a healthy relationship, but it is no longer the only reason he is with Maria. Though it's definitely a good bonus. While thinking about such stuff, he went to the shop page of Team Rocket again like every day and started browsing. Many items and Pokemon are offered here every day, but Alex rarely finds anything that he needs. But for the slim possibility of a strong trainer desperate for money selling valuable items, he always keeps an eye on the shop. He saw an item that instantly piqued his interest, but it was too expensive. 2x leaves with psychic energy for a week from a champion rank executor with SS rank talent. 7.5 million Pokédollars TR points. Even though this item was very good, it shouldn't cost more than 6 million. But because items with such quality are quite rare, they can also be sold for such a high price. Alex looked at his account and started pondering about it. 158,000 TR points. 7,525,000 Pokédollars. After a few seconds, he arrived at a decision and pressed the buy button to order the item. This bastard is lucky that I earn money so quickly, and money is not so important to me. Or he would only find someone else after several months, thought Alex when he transferred 7.5 million Pokédollars. Although Alex's heart bled when he bought this item, he hoped that this item could bring Gardevoir to the shallow diamond rank. 158,000 TR points. 25,000 Pokédollars. When Alex looked at the money he had left, he couldn't help but grab his head. Alex felt that he was spending his money faster and faster, and no matter how much he earned, he never had enough money. Although Alex was sure that almost any elite trainer would die of envy if they see Alex's expenses, he was not satisfied with his earning. Unfortunately, he had to start selling silver Pokemon again to finance his 35,000 Pokédollars of daily expenses. When he thought about spending almost 5 times the money a normal person would earn in a month in this world, he could not do anything but smile. Really, a luxury problem, thought Alex as he mused about how he makes so much money now. After considering the pros and cons, he couldn't help but come to the dead end. Unfortunately, he has to start again with the slower money-making method. It is one thing if silver Pokemon sales increase by 500% in a city one time. But if this keeps on happening regularly now, many people will search for the reason. Alex has to prevent that in any case so that he can earn money again with the slow method, and the increase in the market is almost inconspicuous. If I really need money, I can go to a new region and farm every city there once. Alex started smiling when he thought of the word farming. Unfortunately, that would take a lot of time. I don't need so much money right now that I have to waste my time for it. After a bit of thought, Alex had calculated how long it would take per region. 5 days per region is the absolute minimum if Alex does nothing else. During these 5 days, he cannot train his Pokémon for 3 days and only light training for 2 days while he is on the ship. During these 3 days in Hoenn, Alex hardly slept and was on the move the whole time. Time is money. After about 30 minutes, Alex received a transfer request. He looked excitedly at the case that appeared on the table after accepting the transfer. He opened the case and saw 2 large leaves that gave off a purple color. Since he had started to train his psychic talent, he could realize how dense psychic energy was in these leaves. 2 pieces are a bit fewer, but it's not like there is anything I can do about it, thought Alex as he gave Gardevoir the 2 leaves. Fortunately or unfortunately, the amount was so low that Gardevoir could directly absorb psychic energy from both leaves. Well, if one wants to look at the positive side, leaves have a higher quality of psychic energy despite the low quantity. It seemed that Gardevoir really took her time to absorb these items. Pokémon. Gardevoir, LV. 44. Type. Psychic, Fairy. Ability. Telepathy, Hidden ability. Gender. Female. Potential. Deep Gold. Move. Innate talent Disable E. Innate talent Calm Mind E. Innate talent Dazzling Gleam E. TM Protect. TM Shadow Ball. TM Will-O-Wisp. TM Thunderbolt. TM Thunder Wave. TM Helping Hand. TM Focus Blast. Gardevoir had already become LV44 early in the morning, so nothing had actually changed after this item. FCK. Why is it so difficult to get into the shallow diamond rank? With this item, almost every gold psychic type Pokémon would become deep gold, Alex thought. Gardevoir, who saw Alex look disappointed, knew that she had unfortunately not managed to jump on the SS rank. When Gardevoir showed a bitter expression, Shuppet immediately came out of Alex's shadow and hugged Gardevoir. Gardevoir saw the adorable Shuppet, who hugged her to cheer her up and showed her usual smile again, and began to pet the head of Shuppet. When Alex thought about it, he found himself thinking about the words Professor Walder had said after he had defeated Misty for the second time. What potential the Pokémon is born with seems to be really very important. Crobat, Gardevoir, and Scizor will cost me a lot to get them to the shallow diamond rank, Alex thought with a sober expression. Although Alex knew it would cost him a lot of money, he doesn't want to give up his family to get this important rank. For Ditto, however, the single chance seems to be an item from a full-blood legendary Pokémon because Ditto's born potential is really poor. At least Gardevoir, Crobat, and Scizor were born with deep silver potential. Chapter 200. As Alex thought about these various things, he saw that he had received a message from Lisa. In this message, it was only briefly stated that he should call back as soon as possible. After a few seconds, he took his TRH device and called Lisa with it. After not even 3 seconds, he heard that the call was picked up. Alex, good that you called quickly. I have to talk to you about something. Lisa had her flirting tone as always, but this time she sounded relatively more serious than usual. Alex said in a serious tone, "What's wrong, Executive Lisa?" "Nothing. I just called Maria, and she basically told me what is going on. I also got a call from the boss yesterday, the reason for which I now understand." Alex didn't show a surprised expression when he heard that. Maria had told Lisa the reason for them to visit the boss. He knew that Lisa and Maria have a really good relationship and trust each other. Although Alex isn't sure how much they trust each other, he believed this wasn't a relationship that would be easily broken up. A call from the boss. Yes, he had said that this year's big recruiting starts half a year earlier. In this, recruitment is held in every city simultaneously. The last one was 6 months ago, in which you participated. Normally, we only do this big recruiting once a year, or when we really need staff. But boss has drawn up the schedule by 6 months. The last time something like this happened was 5 years ago. But after the talk, I understood why. Alex understood immediately and said with a smile, he wants to help us find subordinates who are not over 18 years old. But that can't be all. Yes, I am sure that it is only one reason, and there were a few other reasons why he did it this year. But well, it is definitely good news for you. Haha, that's right, I really need some talented trainers right now. Executive Lisa, when is Pewter City going to start the test? Lisa, who immediately understood why Alex was asking about it, smiled when she said, in a week. The first test will be for 100 participants, and a week later, the second test will be held with another 100 participants. Alex, who heard that Pewter City will test 200 people, realized that the Team Rocket really has a high standard. Especially when you consider that most of these 200 people would fail this test and only become Team Rocket lackey. Team Rocket really prefers quality over quantity. Executive Lisa, would it be okay if I was in charge of one of these tests? Asked Alex with a fake pleading tone. No problem Tilda, your rank is already high enough. As long as you don't forget to use your average face, hee Tilda. Alex remembered something suddenly and showed serious expression when he said next, Executive Lisa, do you have any subordinates who have a talent for observing trainers? Your rank is high enough that you don't need my help. You can create a mission in the Team Rocket Mission Center if you are looking for someone to do that. I know, I just want someone who is good at this, and I don't have a lot of time to waste. So I hope that Executive Lisa can help me out this time. Lisa said with a teasing tone, are you ready to owe me a favor Tilda? Alex just gave a small smile, yeah, I have no problem with a little favor. Owing Lisa a little favor isn't really that bad because she can't ask much for it. Even if she wanted to annoy him a little with it. Lisa smiled and said, no problem Tilda, tell me his name, and I'll have this person observed from tomorrow. I'll also send you a report every day, written by the person watching the target. Many thanks for the help. His name is Daniel Kirschbaum, and he lost his parents in a Pokemon riot a few years ago. I need all the information you can find. Especially his strength, past, and where he is right now. I don't know where he is right now, but I think that shouldn't be a problem for you to find him, shouldn't it? Especially because he took part in the Kanto Rookie Tournament, and you can easily find his photo. Lisa smiled. No problem Tilda, see you in a week in Pewter City, hee Tilda. Alex also said goodbye and started his daily meditation exercises. Daniel Kirschbaum only met Alex once, but Alex never forgot him. His cautious and cold demeanor and his young age made him a good candidate in Alex's memories. Especially the fact that he lost his parents in a Pokemon riot a few years ago but still had such a love for Pokemon was really unusual. Together with his hidden aversion to the alliance that gives him money every month and his talent as a trainer, he was Alex's first choice. Of course, that was only the case because he was under 18 years of age. And therefore, Alex couldn't take much better trainers like Adam, for whom Alex also had some ideas. When Alex had finished his exercise for today, he noticed that he could suddenly hear the thoughts of Gardevoir or other Pokemon they allowed him to. He could finally talk to Pokemon without the help of Gardevoir. That was the third psychic skill Alex had learned and the most useful one, for now, at least. More than 1 week ago, he could only bend a spoon with a thought if he is touching it. Unfortunately, this ability was only usable on small objects and was still far too weak to be really useful. The second skill was that Alex could start levitating very light objects. Although it sounds very impressive, right now, he can only let coins float. Every beginning is difficult, thought Alex as he thought about his powerful psychic abilities. Although it is relatively useless at this moment, each of these 3 skills had unbelievable potential, so Alex was not really disappointed with his current strength.